Hello everyone. What we're making today is the ultimate bacon cabbage bake, or casserole if you prefer that word, whichever word you'd like. What we're going to need is a pack of bacon. I will be cooking the entire package of bacon. What you're going to do when you cook the bacon, if you do it on the stove top or the oven, I'm going to cook mine in the oven. You want to reserve 3 tablespoons of the bacon grease when the bacon's done, and then just set it aside. We're going to need a head of cabbage, some olive oil, some chicken stock, some panko breadcrumbs, salt, black pepper, parsley for garnish, garlic powder, onion powder, some nutmeg. We're going to use a little bit of smoked paprika along with some regular paprika. We're going to need some Dijon mustard, some heavy cream. We're going to use 4 ounces of cream cheese, some butter. We're going to grate some Parmesan cheese. I have 3 garlic cloves here that we're going to mince, and then I have 2 onions. If you have 1 large onion, that's fine. So what I'm going to do actually first is we're going to preheat our oven to 425 degrees. I'm going to cut up my cabbage into thick slices, and then I'm going to rinse it off with water and then pat them dry. We're going to roast our cabbage first for about 25-30 minutes, and you're going to flip it halfway through. Once you wash off your cabbage and slice it into thick slices and you pat it dry, we're going to add some olive oil along with some salt and pepper, and then we're going to flip it halfway through when it's in the oven. And then when that's done, we're just going to set the cabbage to the side. You're going to go ahead and cook your bacon however you cook your bacon. I'm going to cook mine in the oven. Once I get my cabbage ready, I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, I did slice up my cabbage, and then I put olive oil, salt, and pepper on both sides, and I just used my brush here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put it into a 425 degree oven, and we're going to bake these for about 25-30 minutes. About halfway through, you are going to go ahead and flip them. Once this is done, you're just going to take them off of the cookie sheet, set them to the side, and then once they're cool, you're just going to roughly chop it. Okay, I just pulled our cabbage out of the oven. I did have it in there for 30 minutes, and I did flip it halfway through. So what I'm going to do is just put them over onto this plate. Once they cool down completely, just go ahead and chop it into pieces as big or as small as you'd like. I did also go ahead and chop my onion, and then I minced my garlic. What I'm going to do now is cook my bacon. I did go ahead and grate my Parmesan cheese, and I did grate the entire 8-ounce block. I may not use the entire 8 ounces, but I can use it for other things. So I'm just going to put the lid on it and put it in the refrigerator until we're ready. Okay, our bacon is done, so I just have it on some paper towels here cooling. Once it's cooled, I'll just go ahead and break it into pieces. Okay, I put about 3 tablespoons of our bacon grease in my pan here. What we're going to do is we're going to saute our onion. Once the onion is soft, we'll come back in and add our garlic. So we're just going to cook the onion in the bacon grease, and once it's soft, we'll be back. Okay, so I did butter my 9x13 baking dish, and then I just roughly chopped up my cabbage and put it on the bottom. I did cut out the bigger parts of the core right here, those 3 pieces. So that's going to go in the garbage. I do have about 1 cup of panko, about a 1/2 cup of chicken stock. I have 1.5 cups of our heavy whipping cream, and then we're going to put our garlic in with the onion as soon as the onion gets soft. And you can go ahead and preheat your oven to 375 degrees, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, our onion is soft. Now you can go ahead and add your garlic. And we're going to cook the garlic for about 1 to 2 minutes. You do want to stir so the garlic doesn't burn. And then just make sure you have your chicken stock ready, because we'll be adding that here next. I have 1/2 block of the cream cheese sitting out as well, because we want that to be room temperature. Okay, I cooked the garlic for 2 minutes. Now go ahead and add your 1/2 cup of chicken stock. I'm going to leave my measuring cup out because I may end up adding more. But we're going to cook this, let this go for about 5 minutes or so. Just want to reduce it just a bit. Okay, we did let it reduce for 5 minutes. Go ahead and lower your heat down to low. We're going to add in our heavy cream. Also going to add in our cream cheese. Now you're just going to whisk this together until the cream cheese is nice and smooth. Okay, our sauce is nice and smooth, minus the onions that you see. To this, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. We are going to add 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. We are going to add about a 1/2 teaspoon of our smoked paprika. And we're going to add about a 1/2 teaspoon of our regular paprika. I lost some. but it is about a half teaspoon. And back here I added 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of onion powder. So go ahead and whisk it all together until it's smooth. I did add an additional 1/4 cup of our chicken stock, so I'll make sure to put the amounts in the description box below. And I also did add some black pepper. That's as much or as little as you'd like. Now we're going to add about 1 cup of our Parmesan cheese, and we're just going to whisk this together until it is incorporated and smooth. I did add some bacon top of our cabbage here. We're going to save the remainder of the bacon for the very end. And then I just turned off my heat to the sauce here. What we're going to do is pour this sauce directly over the cabbage and bacon. And this is what it looks like. So I'm going to cover it with foil, and then we're going to put it in the oven 375 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. In my bowl here, I have 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and then I have 1 cup of our panko. I'm going to pour that right in and go ahead and give that a mix. And then to our melted butter and panko, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of our Parmesan cheese. Go ahead and give that a good mix and just set it to the side. We're going to be using that here shortly. Okay, I just pulled it out of the oven and took the aluminum foil off the top. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and sprinkle in your butter, panko, and Parmesan cheese. And then on top of that, we're going to sprinkle the remainder of our bacon. Back into the oven it goes until the panko is golden in color. And this time it is uncovered. I just pulled it out of the oven. It is smelling delicious, looking wonderful. I do have it on a cooling rack here. You definitely want to just leave this sit for about 20 to 30 minutes. Trust me, it will still be hot. That way everything sets up and you'll be able to cut it easily. I did top it with some parsley as well, just to give it a little bit of color. Once it cools down, we'll back to give it a taste. Okay, it is done. Let's give it a taste. My daughter's not here today. I bet you she would love this. Let's give this a taste. I did let it sit for 30 minutes, but that pan is still hot, so I'm probably gonna burn my mouth. Let's give it a try. Oh my goodness. This is so good. That sauce is amazing. Cabbage is sweet, delicious. I love the topping, the crumb topping. Okay, this is a big bite. This one I'll probably burn my mouth with. We'll find out. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. Ooh. Okay, that was hot. This is delicious, you guys. And it's not very expensive to make either. Cabbage is pretty cheap. Y'all have to make this recipe. It's delicious. I hope y'all enjoy this video, and if you make it, please let me know how you like it. I hope you have a great day and a great rest of your week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.